Hey, Transformers fan, I'm Ben Montano here, part of the Transformers team over at Hasbro. Excited to bring to you from Hasbro Pulse a special guest today whose lasting contributions to the brand go back generations. We're talking decades. I was born then. I know I may look a little young to all, but I had the privilege to hearing the music from this special guest back in the 80s, and his impression on the brand has continued to this day. And without further ado, I am going to invite to this amazing video session the immortal Stan Bush. Stan, it's great to see you. So psyched to have you with us. I'm glad you made the time to hang with the Transformers fandom. What are you up to these days?
Oh, hey, great to be here. Thanks for having me. Things are great. Just been working, doing music and things, and a lot of stuff we can talk about.
Awesome. Cool. I know we have a lot, so I'm going to jump in. First, though, I'm going to embarrass you because I know while there's a lot of fans that grew up in the 80s listening to you through Transformers and on, I think there's a lot that you've accomplished, and want the fandom to know that, and everyone should have a chance to appreciate that and applaud that. So I'll start out first. So you just released your 14th studio album, which is amazing. I know we'll get to that before I let you go. Have songs featured clearly on animated movies, video games, and the like. A Daytime Emmy for Best Original Song, which is amazing. When was that? Can you remember the year?
Yeah, the Emmy was well, the show aired in 1996, and then the Emmy was 1997, of course, the following year. But yeah, it was very cool. We got nominated, and then we went to the thing, and we won. It was Song of the Year. It was very cool.
That was the same time that your song was the official anthem for the Olympic team, U.S. swim team, I think, right? In '96.
Yeah, that was right. The same year, the '96 Olympics. Yeah, NBC American swim team had won all the gold medals, and so the NBC put together a montage of footage, and they used our song "Capture the Dream" for the for that, and it was very cool. I performed at the Olympic Village in Atlanta, and went to the part of the Olympic Games. I saw some of that stuff. It was great.
That's awesome. Awesome. And last but definitely not least, inducted into the Transformers Hall of Fame. I know I was around for that, part of the Transformers team. Proud that we're able to honor you with that, and that you accepted, and we had a great time. If I remember right, too, I think you've performed for the Transformers fandom at some fan conventions in the past as well.
That's right. Yeah, it's been amazing being associated with the brand. I've been to several of these conventions and performed at several of them too, and it's been awesome. Been a fun ride.
Cool. And I know there's one in particular. We'll get to a little story later, which was HasCon. I know that was fun. So we're definitely going to dive back in time. We're going to talk about some new things. I know new projects you have. Something that is a pleasant surprise for the fans in the modern era is that you have 2 videos that will be releasing in partnership with Netflix and the Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy. So we're definitely going to get to that in a minute and dig in and understand how that came about and how you've been able to, again, over 30 plus years, continue to be part of this amazing brand. But let's first turn back the clock and go back to the 80s, and we'll travel all the way back to August 8th, 1986. Transformers, the movie, came out in theaters. And coming out of the theaters, I am confident that the masses and the fandom were echoing "You Got the Touch" through the alleyways. Obviously, Dare also part of that film. If you can share for the fandom, how did that come about? How did you get those songs into that film?
Well, it was actually through the record label. I had written "The Touch" with Lenny Macaluso back then, and then the record label, originally we had written the song with the movie Cobra in mind, the Stallone picture, and the record label came up to me and said, "Oh, we got this song, "The Touch." We got it in this animated movie about robots." And I'm like, okay. Little did I know at the time, of course, any of us know, that it was going to become a huge worldwide phenomenon. But it's been awesome to be a part of this whole thing. So. But the song seems to have a life of its own, and I'm just sort of following along.
It is. It's definitely been fun. So going back, I have to ask this question. Over your 30 plus years and going back to the film, have you ever tried out for a voice role in a Transformers animated film or series?
Actually, no, that would be a very cool thing to do. I did a little bit of back in the day. I sang some commercials. I was the voice for Toyota trucks and Coors beer and a bunch of stuff, and did a little voiceover work. In fact, in the chorus thing, they said, "Okay, read this copy," and I'm like, "Read? I'm a singer," but it was what they wanted. It takes a part of this country. It's cold and clean as the Rockies. Super beer is pure and natural, of course. That kind of thing, you know.
That's awesome.
It was.
So you're saying if we did a Transformers the musical, you'd be better fit for that than maybe some of the other cartoons we have.
I'm down to try anything. I think it'd be cool.
All right, do you have a character of choice, Stan, that you would be if you could voice a Transformers character, or if there was one that didn't exist, what would he be like?
I don't know. Maybe a semi. I really do like. I'm part of the Bumblebee, obviously, so that's probably my favorite Transformer.
Awesome. You maybe the older version, a little bit, not the teenage version. We'll get there. He does Transformers age. Maybe we haven't figured that out yet. So I think we can have some fun with that. Maybe we'll get some shorts out where you can do some voices on a character. We'll work that out. I'm sure the fans listening now would love to hear that.
I'd love it. That'd be great.
Going back to the 80s though, did you get a chance to either attend the premiere or meet any of the cast, or even over time get a chance to spend moments with the people that have also been the voice actors and other part of the franchise from the 80s?
Well, let's see. I met during that time. I met Vince Cola. He actually played on some of the tracks on my album back then, and we've been friends ever since. In fact, he and I went to our first Transformers event. I think it was 1997 in Rochester, New York, the first BotCon. And Vince is a great guy and incredible talent. So, and then actually like Greg Berger and some of the other people, we met at these conventions and things. So I've gotten to be friends with some of them, and met Peter Cullen, and he's a super nice guy. And so yeah, it's been great.
Awesome. Vince also a Transformers Hall of Fame inductee. And did you? I think you guys played back to back, if I remember right, in an outdoor venue. Were you in Louisville, or am I remembering incorrectly?
Yeah, Louisville, Kentucky. We actually did. We performed separately, and then together we did the Touch and Dare. So that was quite a moment. It was like 40 something degrees and rainy, but it was still a blast, and it sounded great, and the people loved it. But yeah, a lot of fun.
I don't know if I should admit this to you now, but I was on a balcony by a heater the whole time, so it wasn't too cold for me. Stan,
Oh, I didn't know you were there. That's great. I did see you at the con, actually. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was hiding by the warmth at that convention.
Good
but
call. Good call.
Yeah. So obviously, as you said, the Touch has transcended and hasn't gone away, and has found its way back into pop culture at times. And one of those moments was a film with an actor we're definitely familiar with, Mark Wahlberg, where he sang that song. And we'll hopefully all remember where that came from. We don't need to necessarily go into the film, but I think there's some fun connections, obviously, with Mark, and obviously as he was cast in 2 of our Transformers films. But I know you have a fun little story of a chance you had to bump into Mark.
Yeah, backstage at the HasCon, he and I kind of started like talking about the song, and he comes over with his phone, and we start singing into the phone like a couple of drunk guys or something. We're singing a Touch together. It was really cool, and he posted it on his Facebook. And, had like a zillion views, and within a matter of an hour or so. But it was very cool. He's a nice guy. I was glad I got a chance to meet him.
Yeah, that's what's fun for all the fans out there. You get a chance to obviously watch something like this and hear from those that have given so much, and someone like Mark that really obviously it's not like he just walks onto the set. Everyone knows his work ethic and what he put into those films and part of the franchise. I think that's what's fun, is that when people come into the Transformers brand and property, they tend to stay and find their way back in at some point in time. And it may be 2 years later, the next film, or decades later. And I think obviously we'll get to that in a minute, because I think this project specifically that we're going to talk about clearly just shows, 30 plus years later, your music just continues to resonate. So we obviously, the touch is really a big part of what started it all. And as we were talking earlier, it sounded like you were up for giving a little treat to the fandom that obviously worships you so much out there. Is now a good time for me to run away and hand the mic over to you?
Hey, sure, why not? Yeah, thank you. I'll give it a shot here. It's kind of rough, but you can. I think you'll recognize the song. I should try to remember it here. So. You got the touch. You got the power. After all is said and done, you never walk, you never run, you're a winner. Got the moves, you know the street, break the rules, take the heat, you're nobody's fool. You're a trumpet when the goal gets run. You can put you the test, but I still with now. You got the touch. You got the power. When all hell's breaking loose, you'll be right in the eye of the storm. You got the heart. You got the motion. You know that when things get too tough, you got the touch.
Woo-hoo! I feel like I need, I would say, lighters. I know most kids these days don't know what that means, Stan, but I'll hold up my lighter.
Yeah.
Or my phone with the flashlight. That was amazing. I wanted an air guitar, but for those that are watching this, Stan can also see me too. And my fear was if I did this, that he would just lose it and not be able to hold it together and play anymore. So I refrained from air guitaring.
Oh.
That was awesome. Thank you. That was epic. I think everyone's going to replay that minute and a half over and over and over again. I had cold chills. But I think what's great, just obviously the lyrics, Stan, some of the new songs we're going to get into here, that there's a heartbeat to a lot of the songs you write and the lyrics. And you talk a lot about being bold and brave and believing in yourself, and never giving up. Obviously, in a lot of different ways. What has been the motivation behind songs like The Touch and some of the newer songs like Heat of Attack and True Believer, that has inspired you to put those words together?
It's funny, that it's all started with The Touch, really. Go for it, believe in yourself kind of became a thing for me. And it's since then I've written, like every album I'll have 2 or 3 of those kind of songs, because I don't know, deep down I believe that we create our own reality. So it's like if you really go for it and give it all you got, then amazing stuff can happen. It's really cool. I mean, I get, when I go to these conventions, I know we talked about this earlier, but some of the most wonderful people I've ever met have been at these conventions. They tell me stuff like, The Touch changed their life in some way, maybe helped them through a tough time or something when they were young. And it's just very humbling to hear that kind of thing. It's makes it all worth it. But you know what I mean?
Totally. And honestly, I know everyone watching this appreciates that, and the fact that it is real and authentic. And I can attest for all watching that that is real and authentic, Stan, for sure. And making the time for this, I think to your point, it is those songs do make a difference, but you know, knowing that you can make the time to share and talk to the fandom out there, give it a little treat, like you just did. It goes a long way. So I thank you on behalf of the entire fandom for that.
I'm very proud to be part of the whole deal. It's been awesome.
Yeah, and we definitely appreciate you've definitely embraced the fandom, and going to the conventions and cutting your teeth in that universe. It can be overwhelming, but again, I know I appreciate it from the Transformers brand side, and the fans definitely do. And again, you've continued to give back to this brand, and as recently as now. You have 2 new projects in the works with our partners over at Netflix, connected to the War for Cybertron series. I have my shirt on, so sorry, yours must have got lost in the mail. Stan, we'll say yours got lost.
Yeah, I'll keep looking.
Keep looking for it. Yeah, you can do that. So obviously these 2 you have 2 tracks, created 2 music videos that will be coming out. Both songs off your new album, which is awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about the 2 songs, and then I know we have some treats that we'll share with the fans to give them a behind the scenes peek of the videos. But we'd love to know a little bit about the songs, if you can.
Yeah, like I see, the Netflix people, they reached out to me. I guess it was around September. And the timing was perfect because we needed one more song for the new album, and so we had this song that we'd just written called "Born to Fight." And anyway, Netflix loved it, so did a music video for "Born to Fight" for their anime shows, Baki and King and Ashura. And anyway, that went really well. And then wasn't, I guess, just before the holidays, Netflix reached out again in conjunction with Hasbro and Transformers about doing 2 additional songs, and these songs are also on the new album, as he said. So "Heat of Attack" and the other song, of course, is "True Believer." So
True Believer.
Both of them, yeah, all of them have a similar sort of vibe as far as like the fight, go for it, fight for what you believe, and that kind of stuff. Sort of a it's a really cool sort of theme, and it does, I think you mentioned before, seems to fit with the Transformers, the whole thing, the whole phenomenon. It's like a thing about going for it and fighting in a good way. It's not like evil. It is a little bit of good versus evil, but you know what I'm saying. It's it seems like the good always triumphs in the end. That's
always triumphs.
Right. That's the deal.
We'll take all. Yeah, we'll take all the what can we call them, rock ballads? I don't know. We'll take all of them that you write for our brand. They fit so well. They fit so well.
Thank you. Thank you.
So the 2 songs, you shot the videos just recently, obviously very safely, I'm sure, knowing you. And there's you're kind enough to pull some images from the shoot that we can share with everybody as part of this. So I have a couple. Let me see. I have you in front of a semi truck. I have you rocking out on a desk. Some great smoke screen ones. So I'm gonna ask you about a couple of these, Dan. But my first one I want to ask about though is that suit coat. I want to know if you ripped the sleeves off with your bare hands. Everyone wants to know.
I did. We cut the sleeves off. There you go. There's the shot. It was an Italian suit jacket, probably very expensive in the original, and also the dress shirt. We cut the sleeves off at shoulder length, and that's an actual Transformers tie and an Autobot pin that I'm wearing on a lapel pin. So ostensibly that's the Oval Office, and I'm, I guess, the president. But it's pretty crazy, and you'd have to see the whole video to get the story. But it was very cool doing the whole thing. There it is with me on the desk.
Yeah, so the great shot of you playing on the desk.
At one point they had me flying Superman style through a wormhole, and that's against the green screen. So there'll be animation going with it. So it's fun doing
That's
this stuff.
awesome. So how about the semi truck? What song was that for? And I know you had shared with me you had a chance to get in it, and I think rock out too.
Yeah, that was for True Believer, and I'm actually driving there, or appear to be driving. That's you know how Hollywood, everything's done with mirrors. So, but yeah, I'm doing front of the semi truck, and they have a smoke machine and all that. So it was very fun doing that, and it's in a pretty big soundstage kind of studio, and yep, there's the in front of the semi doing the guitar solo, and hopefully the semi
That
is not
must have
going
been
to
so
roll over
fun.
me.
Well, you're
It was
still
a blast.
here, so I assume it didn't. Maybe it bumped you slightly, but
Something happened. It was a lot of
that is
fun.
awesome. So when you shot those, I mean, did that bring you back to the '80s again, or is that just who you are through and through?
Well, I never left the '80s. Actually, I mean, it's one of those, you know, all during the '90s and the 2000s, people are, how come you're still doing '80s music? Well, that's kind of who I am. I don't know. I kind of got stuck there. But I love the '80s, and there was even a song on the new album called "The '80s," which we did a music video for that as well. And
So,
it's all about remembering back to when you were a kid, and how, you know, though you have music brings you back. It's like a time machine, you know, and takes you back to an earlier time, and hopefully to a lot of happy memories. And that's what music does.
yeah, and that was kind of a cruising song, if I remember right, too.
Yeah,
From I don't know if that would have fit the Transformers videos vibe. Maybe
probably
too
not,
casual.
except that the original one
That's
did
all.
come out in the '80s. So we got that connection.
Oh yeah, yeah, true. Um, any other treats? Because you know, I think there's a lot of fans watching this that maybe haven't seen the videos, but I'm sure a lot have already, as they were just recently released. Any other fun little asides from the shoot that you know, or Easter eggs that you know the fans would love to know about?
Well, trying to think. We think we covered most of it. I just have to mention the director, you know, Malcolm Guest. He's
Yeah.
just awesome. He did all four videos actually with me, and I have to thank the folks at Netflix, obviously Netflix Anime, and of course Hasbro for you know, being on board for this whole thing.
No, thanks, Dan. No, we're psyched, and you know, our friends over at Netflix, we've been talking to them for a while about finding a way to bring you know your music in into this. And I think what was great is that not only were they able to do that, but they brought you into this with the videos, and you know, credit to them for stepping up and making that happen. I know when we first released War for Cybertron, a lot of fans were like, "Where's Stan Bush? Where's his music?" And you know, our intention was always to make it happen, and sometimes you know you get people hungry and then you finally feed them. So I think I think these two videos are going to be hopefully they'll satisfy the appetite for of the fandom for at least a little bit.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it all worked out as sort of serendipitous, I guess. It's just very cool how the Transformers brand just keeps on growing and evolving, and it's just been awesome. Also, I got to say the new album Dare to Dream has gotten tremendous reviews. It's you know, doing really great in Europe and elsewhere in the world. So it's funny because we did most of the album this past year during the lockdowns and things. So I know that was tough on a lot of people, but I think
Yeah.
creatively, if there's a silver lining in all of this, we were able to focus in on the album. My producer and I, producer's Holger Fath, he's just great. He did you know, a lot of that killer guitar work and keyboards and all this stuff, and made these tracks come to life. So, got to mention him. He's also my best friend. So,
Yeah, and where can the fans grab Dare to Dream? Everywhere where music is available.
pretty much, stanbush.com. Oh yeah, there's the album cover, and you can also find it on iTunes. So it's turned out really good. The people seem to love it. And I definitely appreciate all the support. So it's awesome.
Yeah, no, we do, and the same. I think you and I have we've been fortunate enough to talk quite often over the years, uh, become friends, and I think you to be able to share a little more of you with the fandom, because not everyone has a chance to hear from you, hear your music, and it is uplifting. And I hope those that, if they haven't had a chance to listen to the album, do, because there's a lot of positive messages in your songs, and you know, no one should have any qualms with anything from the 80s. I think we're all kidults nowadays. You know, there's no growing up, right? I think there's a little Peter Pan in all of us that we want to be kids forever. So
That's it.
I'm okay with
Yep.
that. Awesome, Stan. This has been a blast from the past. It's been great turning back the clock and obviously talking about some of the new projects that you've been able to do with the brand. So thank you on behalf of the entire universe of Transformers fans for being part of this franchise for so long. I know everyone appreciates it. So we'll be sharing the official videos soon on the Hasbro Pulse and Transformers social channels. Also look for them on Stan's channel, as well as the Netflix social channels. It's great to get a peek behind the tent and behind the music with you today. So many thanks. Anything you want to say to the fans as we send them off?
Just thanks so much for the support. It's been awesome, and really appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, all those out there watching, make sure to add comments, show Stan the love, and make sure to like and subscribe Hasbro Pulse and Transformers for more great content just like this. Stan, thanks much, and be good and rock out.
Take care. All the best.